Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we're cooking sort of midday on a weekday because I'm trying to get this done. Didn't get a chance to get it done yesterday. We had a great pool day, but that left little time for cooking in the kitchen. So today we're going to be making the sweet and salty cream cheese tart from Alison Roman's Nothing Fancy. And this is basically a cheesecake, but she likes her cheesecake thinner than the usual. So that's what we're doing. And it's also a little sweet, a little salty. So we're going to lean into the sweet and salty, the salty side of that by making our crust from Ritz crackers. You can choose Ritz crackers or Nilla wafers. I have chosen Ritz crackers and I weighed them out per the recipe. And I am going to pulse them in my food processor until they have a fine crumb, not powder, but sort of all broken up into crumbs. You can do this just in a plastic bag and bash them up. So that was not very long at all, just quite a few pulses, but I think we're good now. So now we're going to transfer this to a bowl. I'm just going to use this bowl because it should be fine. I decided we might as well use the food processor because we're going to use that for the next step as well. So let's get as many crumbs out of here as we can, because I'm trying not to have to really wash this or even give it too much of a rinse. And that should be good since we're not combining the butter and the sugar and all that in here, just pulsing the crackers. I'm going to call that good enough for the next step and not worry about cleaning that. But to this, I'm going to add a little bit of brown sugar that I've already measured and a pinch of salt. I don't know why we need more salt, but sure. And kosher salt, and then some melted unsalted butter. I am absolutely sure that you could probably just skip your pinch of salt and then use salted butter, or do both. It will be fine. And now I'm just going to mix them until they're evenly coated and we have a sort of wet sand texture. We want to be able to pat this into our pan. I think that's pretty evenly mixed now. Kind of looks like wet sand as intended. You can use a 9-inch springform pan, a 9-inch Tart pan, or you could even just, and those are unlined, or you can use an 8-inch square lined cake tin or a probably 9-inch round cake tin, but those you should line because we do want to be able to take this out. So a Tart pan has a removable bottom. The springform pan has a removable bottom. That will help with removing the cheesecake, the cream cheese tart from the pan. Pretty sure, I'm going to move this a little bit. Pretty sure the smallest tart pan I have is a 10-inch. So I'm going to go with my 9-inch springform pan and just dump all of these in here. And now we get to go about patting this down and making it an actual crust. So I'm going to start just by using my spatula to kind of make it even-ish. There we go. And then she says to use a bowl, a small bowl, to really press it, or a measuring cup. My measuring cup has it's not going to work very well because I just have long handles on it. So I'm going to try this little bowl that was already dirty, so why not? Now she does not say how far up the sides to go. So I'm just going to see how far it goes. And try to make it as even as possible. Honestly, this is probably the hardest part of the whole recipe. And this is going to go into a 325-degree oven until it's lightly golden brown at the edges. It does get baked again with the filling in it, so you really don't want to over bake this. But we're just gonna hope it all stays together. And we're gonna put it in the oven. I'm gonna put it on a baking sheet just to make it easier to take it in and out. You shouldn't need to do that. And while that's baking, we're going to make the filling. So now I have everything I need for the filling, and we're going to start with our cream cheese, which is at room temperature, or as close as it will get. It's not absolutely a requirement. I think it will just take less time. She says preferably at room temperature. To the cream cheese, we're going to add sour cream, or I've chosen to use full-fat Greek yogurt. It's my usual full-fat Greek yogurt, which is very thick, which I think will turn out well for this. And I love it. So, and to these ingredients, we're going to add some plain white granulated sugar. And now we're going to blend it until it is impossibly smooth. Well blended, scraping down the sides if you need to. So we'll see how long this takes. That was about 20 seconds, and now I'm going to just scrape down the sides. Other than that, it looks very, very smooth, other than the bits that were not quite in with the rest. That looks really great to me. We're going to give it another couple seconds. All told, 30 seconds. Great. And now we're going to add a couple of eggs. I'm gonna put them in this first because I'm not great with these eggs at not getting shell in them, but that worked out good. I'm gonna put my eggs in. And then you can choose grapefruit juice, fresh grapefruit juice, lemon juice, lime juice, or orange juice. My daughter is the one who requested this, so I let her choose, and she chose lemon. So that's great. And then another pinch of kosher salt. I'm going to once again, just get it nice and creamy. That looks pretty good to me. I'm just going to scrape it down once, give it a few more seconds, and call that good. And that means, since I've had everything ready, we're going to be done before the crust is ready for us. All right. That was about a minute total. So I'm going to spend the next 4 to 9 minutes cleaning up and getting ready to pour this into our crust. Hot. I'm going to call this good enough. I really don't want my edges to burn. So she does not say that we have to wait after taking this out of the oven. So I probably should have done this beforehand. I'm going to take out my blade because I don't need it getting in my way. And this one doesn't have a leak when you take out the blade, so that is okay. Now we're going to pour this into our crust. I don't know, it feels like it's going to be too much. It's going to be way over my edges, which it was not for her, but it will be what it's going to be. We're almost there. It'll be fine. Should probably have brought the edges up a little bit more, but it's okay. Now, one thing you do not need for this is a water bath, because she said that is in the yeah, not gonna do that category. And I've done it. It's not horrible, but it is not fun. And then you end up having like really hot water in your oven that you have to deal with and let it cool down and all that. So yeah, we're not doing that. Thankfully. I don't think I need to. Yeah, no, I don't really need to smooth this out. I don't think it really matters. I'm not serving anybody but my family for this, so I think that'll be fine. This is going to go back into the 325-degree oven for 25 to 35 minutes, but it should be entirely set. No jiggle at all, and no browning. So I will set the timer for 25 minutes, and then I will check it periodically until I think it's done. And I'll let you know how long that takes and show you what it looks like when I decide that's done. So now it goes back in the oven. Cheese tart scene 2-ish. Yeah, 2. All right, so it has been like 50 minutes that this has been in the oven. Still a little bit jiggly, but I just kind of dented it. Oops. I'm gonna call it done enough. It has been an extra 15 minutes over and above the maximum time, and it's starting to kind of brown at the edges. So we don't want that, but I'm going to turn the oven off and leave the door open and set a timer for 15 minutes. When that goes off, it gets moved to a cooling rack, and then it has to cool there for at least an hour. And then it goes in the refrigerator until it is cold for at least an hour. Or no, it cools completely, and then it goes in the refrigerator for at least an hour. And then we'll be able to eat this later tonight. My cheesecake has been in the refrigerator for, I don't know, a few hours now. It is fully chilled. I did wrap it pretty tightly because she says that she feels like cream cheese develops refrigerator flavors, so I didn't want that to happen. But we're going to open this up. Not too bad. Looks pretty good. It looks like I guessed approximately correctly on how high to bring up my sides of my crust. And then we're going to sprinkle it with some flaky sea salt, which I'm of course going to get everywhere. So that's what I do. I'll leave it for like that for now. And we're going to slice it. Okay. She says this serves 8 to 10. I'm going to go ahead and cut a quarter and cut the quarter into halves. Approximately, anyway. Looks like it is set well enough, which is what I was a little bit worried about. Oh no, there we go. Sometimes the correct tool for the job is important. Makes things easier. All right. I'm going to take a little taste. The texture is really good. It is creamy. It is tangy. It is only very slightly lemon flavored. It is not overtly lemon flavored, so we probably would have been fine with grapefruit. I just don't like grapefruit, so I don't keep it in the house. So it's not, the crust is not super salty, very buttery. It's a Ritz cracker. So anyway, we'll see what the rest of the family thinks, but I think it is a winner. It is a good cheesecake, and honestly, it's small enough that sometimes cheesecakes get really huge, right? So it's kind of small, so it's great for our family. And it was really easy. I think I made this in definitely less than an hour. In one food processor, didn't even have to wash it in between. So I think it gets a thumbs up for me. If you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and come back and watch me make something else next week.